Bore da pawb, croeso nôl I WelshBloke Walking. Welcome back to WelshBloke Walking. Well, today I'm going to tell you about a Denbigh man who became world famous in the Victorian era. And this is despite a very poor upbringing and an appalling childhood. Now, some regard him as a hero. Others say he was a compulsive liar, a fantasist with psychopathic tendencies, a bit like Boris Johnson today. Now, no doubt, the truth, as always, will lie somewhere in the middle of those two statements. He was born John Rowlands. Now, people of Denbigh, pobl o Dinbych, will know exactly who this man is, but the rest of you may not. So let me tell you his story, leave you a link or two, and see if you can guess, before the reveal at the end of this video, who he was. Come on. I'm starting my storytelling journey here at the Plas Pigot, which is a much-loved social club here in Denbigh. The building behind me is a Grade 2 listed building. It's apparently a perfect example of the Regency Villa style of architecture. It was once a very posh mansion. And it's in the video not because John Rowlands was born here, but because he was conceived here. And there's a story to that. John Rowlands' mother, Elizabeth Parry, was an 18-year-old unmarried girl who was employed as a maidservant at Plas Pigot. John's real father was alleged to have been James Vaughan Horne, a 39-year-old wealthy local solicitor, who, it is presumed, met and dallied with Elizabeth on visits to Plas Pigot. When, as a result of these meetings, Elizabeth became pregnant, Horne shipped her to his house in London and hid her there for some months. During her absence, Horne arranged for a local farm worker, John Rowlands from Llanrhaeadr, to be named as the father. A tactic which didn't work, as John Rowlands was listed on his birth certificate as being illegitimate. Elizabeth was brought back to Denbigh in 1851, just in time to give birth to her son in a little cottage near Denbigh Castle. John Rowlands Sr., the man who had agreed to be his father, died just a few weeks after John was born. His mother then abandoned him, and he was brought up by his grandfather, Moses Parry. Unfortunately, Moses died when John was only 5 years old, and he was then sent to the Union Workhouse for the Poor in Llanelwy, St Asaph. When he was 15, he left the workhouse, got a job as a cabin boy on a ship, and sailed to America. There, he fought in the American Civil War. First for the Confederate Army, then the Union Army, and finally the Union Navy, and is possibly the only man to have ever served in all three services. Having now changed his name, he became a freelance journalist, and it was his assignments in this capacity that eventually brought him worldwide fame. Nearly there now. At last, we're at the top. It's said that from the woods at the bottom to here at the top, there are 100 steps. I'll be honest with you, I've never actually counted them. But it certainly feels like 100. Never mind, this makes it all worth it. Here we are at last at Castell Dinbych. So where exactly was John Rowlands' house? Well, as far as I can gather, when John Rowlands was a tiny child, he lived in a house just outside the castle walls, around this area. The cottage, of course, has long since been demolished, and no trace at all that it was ever here in the first place. Well, it may have been a very poor household, but what a glorious view they must have had. So, have you guessed yet who John Rowlands is better known as? No? Okay then, let me take you into town, put you out of your misery. So, time to find out John Rowlands' true identity. It's this man. Yes, it's H.m.Stanley. African explorer. He of the phrase, Dr. Livingstone, I presume.
Dr. Livingstone, I presume.
Well, it's certainly an impressive statue. But was Henry Morton Stanley a saint or a sinner? Check out the links below and decide for yourself. Diolch am wylio, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Hwyl fawr i chi.